Hey everyone. In this video, I'm going to compare and contrast homologous to analogous structures. Now, this is a common misconception for students, so I thought I'd make this video to help clarify. Number one, homologous structures are the same genetic structure, but they have different physical functions. So for example, the finger bones of a bat are modified to form the structure that supports their wing. But in whales, which are also mammals, the finger bones are modified to form the bone structure that supports the flipper. So they're both, in this case, finger bones. But the physical function, because of the environment that these organisms live in, have put stress on the structure to favor whatever physical environment that there is. So in this case, for bats, it is flying. And for whales, it is helping them steer through the dense waters. So homologous structures have the same genetic structure, but they have different physical function. Analogous structures are the ones that have different genetic structure, but the same physical function. So analogous are opposite to homologous. So in the case of analogous structures, they have different genetic structure. So birds have bones and feathers, and that gives them the ability to fly, these wings. Whereas insects don't have bones and feathers. Their wings are made of a completely different material. And even though they have the same physical function, which is for flight, genetically, these wings are nowhere near related in what they're made of. The next thing I want to talk about is how these structures come about. So how is it that organisms get these different types of structures? So for homologous structures, they're going to arise from divergent evolution. In other words, you're going to have one single common ancestor, and the forms of the ancestor's descendants are going to be different based on the needs of the physical environment. So in the case of finger bones, you would have the whale that eventually those 5 fingers become adapted for water. In the case of the bat, you have those 5 fingers adapted for air. And in the case of something like a horse or a dog, then those 5 fingers eventually are adapted for walking on land. For analogous structures, they're going to come from convergent evolution. So convergent evolution is when you have 2 different, completely unrelated ancestral organisms, and because of some environmental pressure, such as in our example, the ability to fly, they form a similar structure, a similar physical feature. In this case, it's both wings. But you need to understand that the genetic basis of the wings for one organism is completely different than the genetic basis of the other organism. They have this in common, but it's not because they were genetically related. It's the environmental pressure that caused them to have this. So between these two, homologous structures can be used as evidence for evolution, whereas analogous structures really can't use it for evolution other than the fact that both organisms were exposed to the same environmental pressure, but there's no genetic similarity between them. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye.